Chapman for three. He is hard to believe. The Magic at 360 turn with the dribble. Passing down the middle. Gets underneath the Worthy. Sliding down. Third quarter, double fake.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Dime Dropper, episode 47 of our 24-minute recaps. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe on YouTube at Dime Dropper Podcast, Apple Podcasts, follow us on Spotify, and of course, to follow us on social media at Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Dime Dropper Pod. So today I watched two horrible games, two games that were, in principle, they look good in terms of the talent on the court and the way the game was going, but they were absolutely ruined. And I'm going to get into that right now. Let's start with the Clippers and the Nets that just ended off on this Sunday. The Nets were without Kevin Durant. Clippers with a fully healthy team, but still Paul George on a minutes restriction. And I thought we started off terribly. I thought our defense was completely out of sorts. We couldn't do anything getting over screens with with Harden and Kyrie Irving. Started out with James Harden. We went into drop coverage with Ibaka. We were giving Harden the three off the screen, and he was hitting it. So then what's the next thing you do? Run Harden off the three-point line, try to get him into the lane. He scores floaters. But then it's to the point where you can't even try and, hustle and get over screens with Harden because he just flops every time. He flails. He feels a little contact and he throws it up. So you can't play defense on him. You just can't, right? You can't do it. And I watched the game earlier in Boston. We're going to get to that too, Boston and New Orleans, where you cannot contest guys at the rim. Like Zion, you just can't do anything. You have to let them score or else it's a foul on the defense. So you just got to let them go. Essentially. And you know what that was doing was bringing two defenders up to Harden. It would bring Ibaka and Zubats up in the drop coverage. And then DeAndre Jordan would be scoring on lobs 24/7. And then the next thing was to give up open threes for Joe Harris and them. But I gotta give Harden and Kyrie credit in that first half. They were hitting everything when it came to floaters, everything coming off screens. We did not have any answer for them. And that's what I always talk about, the in-between game. If you have the in-between game in pick and rolls and when Harden's literally hitting all those floaters and then you can't touch him, it's like, what are we supposed to do? Like, we can try and blitz and get the ball out of his hands, but they have four shooters. They went really small. I saw us doing a little bit more of that when it was DeAndre Jordan in the game. But look, Kawhi got off to a great start, like 14 points in the first quarter, but we couldn't guard. And Lou Williams was not the same Lou Williams of the last couple of games, which once again concerns me. It goes back to what I was saying about Lou Williams. Is he going to be able to get it done against the elite opposition in the playoffs? Is he going to be able to get the elite opposition in the playoffs? Because today wasn't good enough. And I'm also not a fan of this exiling Kennard situation. Like we have no perimeter scoring, no guard scoring off the bench besides Lou. You know what I'm saying? Morris is a different kind of scorer. He operates in different spots of the court. He gets the ball in the mid-post. He gets the ball back to basket. So we need, I think Kennard should play. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love Terrence Mann's energy. Like, he was trying on guys. But when Kyrie and Harden are hitting everything off screens, the only answer to that is switch everything. And, the problem is our offense, we can't take anybody off the dribble. How many times have we talked about this on the show? How many times have I said Kawhi cannot seem to get by anybody? He relies on complete skill to score all his points. Skill and strength, but mainly skill. Contested mid-ranges, stopping on a dime, creating this much separation to score. He doesn't clear guys. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't get by guys. And somebody I need to give a shout out to who played a very good game tonight was Bruce Brown. I thought he played very well. I thought he finished around the rim well. I thought he played good defense. Serge Ibaka. So by the way, when the Nets go to switch everything situations, it causes the mismatch. And you know what that means. Ibaka gets Harden or a smaller guy on him. And what does this go back to, guys? Is the NBA getting better and better? The big men in today's game cannot score on little guys. It is the most frustrating, least skillful thing ever. You think a 7-footer just hitting an open pop, like pick and pop three, that's skill? That's skill. Anybody can learn how to shoot a deep jumper. Anybody. I could go outside and hit like 10 jumpers in a row in front of you guys right now. It's not skill. Learning how to use your size, hitting jump hooks, that's skill. You know why people used to say, imagine a center that can shoot threes? You know why? Because it was all about if you had the inside game and then you take guys outside, not just outside and no inside. Then what the fuck is the point of being 7 feet tall? You might as well be 6'2". Anyway, so Serge Ibaka in drop coverage was a joke, and he was just like terrible. Zubac's a little bit better, still not good enough. Harden and Kyrie were getting whatever they wanted in pick and rolls. We had no resistance getting over screens except for Terrence Mann, and then Paul George was doing a pretty good job. But once again, they cannot touch them. Harden, they can't touch him. This is the first team I've seen where we can't even get over screens. They don't let us. The refs don't allow us to do it. Anyway. And yeah, DeAndre Jordan, finishing every lob and then blocking shots like it was 2014. That frustrated the hell out of me because we watch Nets games here. They're one of our dime dropper teams. Not because I like them. I cannot stand them. I cannot stand them because, it's just so funny to me that Harden gets to be on this team when, they formulated their team and they had Kyrie and Durant. And this man is not a free agent. He requests to go get traded to the team of his choice. And they send him there. They should have sent him to Siberia. They should have sent him to Sacramento. They should have sent him to New York. Not the Nets. It's a joke. It's actually a joke. I'm not saying that they're unfair. Trust me, I'm not saying that they're unfair. But it's ridiculous. If they win the championship, are we supposed to respect this? Are we supposed to think that this is legit? Oh, man, congrats to James Harden. He finally got that hard-earned ring. Really? Okay, whatever. He's a puss. Anyway, second half, though, we started going small ball more, and it started to lead to much better options. However, we once again could not get by guys off the dribble. But for whatever reason, they stopped switching in certain instances, and they started just kind of throwing two on Kawhi, and it led to some Serge Ibaka rolls, and Serge was finishing better in the second half. But overall, and Paul George, by the way, he looked really good. He was coming off, hitting jumpers over guys. Here's the thing. It wasn't until the fourth quarter where it seemed like Paul was getting by dudes, but he was pulling his jumpers over guys and hitting them with no problem. But my problem is we struggled to get by guys one-on-one. Lou Williams does a good amount, but tonight he wasn't. And here's my thing about this Nets team, guys. The Clippers, we don't have a great matchup with them, man. Because their switch everything strategy is the only teams that are going to be able to beat that if they can keep the U in front of them, which we don't really have that many guys that are great at taking guys off the dribble. Our best is Paul George. He needs to be a little more aggressive, but I give him the benefit of the doubt because he's on a minutes restriction and he's coming off injury. But Kawhi, as we've seen already, guys, he's not the type to, there were times where he had DeAndre Jordan on his switch and he couldn't even take him. If I'm the other team, I switch on Kawhi every time. I switch on him every time to not give him the advantage to go over screens. Because he struggles to get by guys, it seems. He really does. Kawhi is my favorite player to watch in today's NBA because he's actually an old school, mid-range, post-game, assassin. But he struggles to get by guys. Point blank, end of the story. And when the Nets do that switch everything strategy, we can't do it because you know why? We try and it does work out better. It definitely does. But when you have Durant there, it's not going to work as well because they have three elite one-on-one players, elite. One of them who's insanely protected by officials. See, here's the thing. I don't have a problem with Kyrie. He plays basketball. What Plumber Jim does, he doesn't play basketball. That's playing the officials, dude. He doesn't play the game the right way. He's flailing every time he shoots. That shit is trash, bruh. That ain't basketball. But anyway, you come down to the end of the game, our matchup with the Nets, I just don't feel it because that switch everything strategy and our inability. We're a jump shooting team. So we don't have an inside presence that dominates, which is a huge concern. I'm not saying that if we make it to the championship, we're guaranteed to lose to Brooklyn. But once again, I'm not even thinking about the championship. As far as I'm concerned, that's the last game time we're going to see them this season. That is the last time we're going to see them. Because what has to happen to see them again is both of us to make the championship. And you know what means when I hear Clippers and championship in the same sentence? Next. Anyway, once again, does that mean that we have no chance? No. It means that I'm not even going to think about it because it's the Clippers, and I'm a Clipper fan, and I've been for 16 years. So that means I know our team. Anyway, let's get to the fourth quarter where we started playing much better basketball, and the refs started evening it out. I thought in the first half they were very pro-Nets. Fourth quarter, they were starting to give us the same calls, which was, if you're going to set the precedent that you can't touch Harden, well, you better not be able to touch Kawhi or Paul George either. And Paul George was starting to take guys off the dribble, and it was creating better shots. And he was getting fouled. At one point, they were sending us to the line every time down. It was becoming a boring game. Like they just, yeah, but it was even. It was even because they called that on Harden, so they better call it on when Kawhi and Paul George drive. So I thought that Paul George was getting some good stuff for us, but at the end of the day, Paul George was taken out of the game by Ty for a minutes restriction. I don't know how much I agreed with it, but at the end of the day, I thought that there was no reason we should have been in this game because, in my opinion, Kyrie Irving was kind of chucking the Nets out of the game at the end. And then you had James Harden who missed his 2 free throws. What was frustrating was DeAndre Jordan's tip after we tied the game. I mean, I have a lot of love for DJ, but I cannot stand him in terms of as a basketball player because he cost us several postseasons. Several, especially 2015 Game 6 against Houston. Fully cost us in many ways. Him and Blake. I blame DJ the most because he was just, oh my God. I hope he blows it for the Nets in some way, shape, or form. But anyway, the fourth quarter, towards the end of the game, there was a scramble. PG, couldn't get a rebound at the end. I remember, that play, he went up for the ball, it just bounced and landed in, I think it was Kyrie's hand, and Joe Harris got a layup. And then we were down by 2 after DeAndre's ridiculous tip. But, oh my God, the last play. James Harden's a step behind. He gets beat off the dribble. He's got his right arm on Kawhi's left shoulder. So if, let's say, hypothetically, Kawhi tries to go up, Harden would probably slap it. Like, I know what Harden tries to do. Use his arm to slap down on the ball and make it look like it's clean. What's funny is if Harden was in the same position as Kawhi, he would have tried to clutch his arm and just flail like he does. But Kawhi instead, in the streets, this is what you do. You see a guy hand checking, you give him a little shove. You play physical basketball, right? And it was not even a shove. I consider it more of a nudge. And for the referees to decide the game on a call like that, this league, I'm sorry, I've said it before, and I'm just reaching my boiling point. It's a joke. Straight up WWE bullshit. You know what I'm saying? There's no defense association, no defense allowed. It's a joke. It is an absolute joke. They don't want to let anybody contest shots at the rim, and they decide games on that. How many times have we said, you don't call that stuff at the end of games? You just don't. Yeah, and then yeah, you don't call that at the end of games, and then you decide the game on that call? You don't call that to end games. That's not how you end a basketball game when people are watching. If we were at the game, I wish we were at the game. We could have thrown trash on the court. Fuck the refs. They shouldn't have been able to make it out alive. Ruined the game. Ruined it. Every game is ruined at the end with these refs. The Celtics game, terrible today. I want to get into it, but God, I'm just so angry. Just ridiculous, man. Harden, and then flopping like he got hit by a cannon, bruh. Flopping like he got hit by a freaking cannon. Dude, that was a little touch by Kawhi Leonard. Little touch. Actually, ridiculous. Actually, ridiculous. But, no, you know what's funny? LeBron James gets the same call with no question. LeBron gets it, Harden gets it, but Kawhi does it at the end of the game, and then James Harden actually gets hit by a cannon. Freaking fool. You know what I'm saying? This Nets team, I cannot stand them. They came together artificially. James Harden chose where he went and cried wolf so bad because he can't win a championship because his foul baiting tactics don't work in the playoffs. Fool. I just cannot stand this team anymore. I cannot stand them. Joke team. Man, I can't imagine if it's Lakers Nets in the finals, I'll just kill myself. Oh my God. But we didn't deserve to win the game. Make no mistake, we didn't deserve to win the game. Clippers didn't deserve it. But I'm not mad that we lost the game. You got to give the Nets credit for the way they played throughout 3 quarters. But I'm just more mad at the NBA for what a joke of a league it's become. It's actually a joke league. I'm sorry. I'm very okay with saying I love the Clippers and I love basketball. I don't love the NBA anymore. My love for the NBA is waned. Adam Silver's ruined it for me. He's a fucking cupcake. He's a total cupcake. He lets all this shit happen under his watch. It's a joke. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. Nets fans may find this video, and if you're a Nets fan, you understand. I'm speaking because out of emotion. This is my team. I get mad about this stuff. I want the NBA product to be the best. I want the refs to not decide games. But I talk about the Nets objectively. Anybody here knows that I actually watch Nets games. The Nets are one of our dime dropper teams. I cover them on a game-to-game basis. I speak the facts about the Nets. But the facts of the matter is Plumber Jim reverted to his old ways today, foul baiting and playing like a complete puss that he is. Anyway, should I even read the lines? Plumber Jim, 37 fake points, 11 bullshit rebounds, and 7 assists. 13 of 25 from the field, 4 of 9 from 3, 7 of 11. He couldn't even make, he missed 4 free throws generously given to him. Kyrie Irving was great. 28 points, 12 of 26 from the field, 2 of 11 from 3. Too many threes for him, though. DeAndre Jordan, he was great, though, I will say. 13 points, 11 rebounds, 4 blocks. He chose to have his revenge game, one of his best games of his freaking career, it seems, against us. But, yeah. Very frustrating. Batum, I thought he missed a lot of good shots. He was just a little, he hasn't really returned back to full form since the injury, but I'm not concerned about him at all. Kawhi was good. 29 points, 13 rebounds, 9 of 19, 5 of 9 from 3. He needs to try to get to the basket more, though. We don't put any pressure on the refs. Like, for example, Paul George and Kawhi combined shot 14 free throws. Harden shot 11 by himself. But yeah, Pat Beverly, by the way, I better not hear people crying about that screen. That was not malicious intent. If you're crying about that screen, you're just a little soft motherfucker. Point blank, end of story. He didn't try to injure Jeff. Pat Beverly has a reputation, so I guarantee people are going to start blaming him because they're just finding any excuse to blame Patrick Beverly, but it's a joke. Anyway, Lou Williams was 2 of 11. Not good enough. Zubac, solid, 6 of 7, 13 points, 8 boards. Mook, not good enough either for me offensively. He was better defensively. He actually did one of the best jobs on Plumber Jim. But 5 points, 2 of 7. Ugh. I don't like that Kennard's not being used, man. I think Ty needs to stop that. He needs to play, man. His confidence is going to go down the drain. And then Paul George was great. I thought he was our best player in the game. 34 points, 6 boards, 7 assists. 6 turnovers, though. He turned the ball over way too much. We turned the ball over 16 times. They turned the ball over 6 times. So that's one of the main reasons we lost. So, very disappointing. Very disappointing. But we'll get back to it next game. Our matchup with these guys isn't very good, but we're not going to see them again this season. So we'll see. We need to do a lot before we see them again, and they need to do a lot. So we're not seeing them. So whatever. They can go suck it. Screw the Nets. Super teams suck. James Harden's a puss. KD's a puss. Kyrie, he's not a leader. They can all suck it. Screw the Nets. They're still a dime jumper team, though. We still cover them because they're must-see TV, even though they're garbage. Anyway, let's move on to the Celtics and the Pels. The Celtics, after coming off a great game in Atlanta, they were on it. And from the beginning of the game, their defense was great. They were doing a great job collapsing on Zion, Tice, Thompson, everyone. The Time Lord, Jaylen Brown started off hitting. It was the Celtics show in the first quarter. But the Pelicans were staying around. Then the second quarter, they really took off. Tatum started getting to the basket. He was kind of cold to start. Time Lord's activity was fantastic. Aaron Naismith's activity was fantastic. The lack of shooting on the court for New Orleans made it easier to load up on Ingram and create steals for him. Ingram had 2 turnovers. Zion had 3 turnovers. But man, oh man, the Celtics, they were up by 24 points. And the same thing happened that we always saw, that we always have been seeing. Stagnant as the game goes on. Kemba Walker, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown take turns doing high pick and roll while they stand around watching each other, doing nothing off the ball. Brad Stevens doesn't make any adjustments. They just keep doing the same thing. The Pelicans were getting back into the game. They could not stop Zion, but they could not stop calling fouls. I don't understand. When Zion goes at you, jumps into you, what are you supposed to do? You go up straight. Okay, he either scores or they call a foul on the defense. What are you supposed to do? You can't play defense in today's NBA anymore. You can't. It's a joke. It's not basketball, man. It's not basketball anymore. You're protecting the offense so much. The defense is handicapped. It's awful. Zion, he played well as the game went on, but he's still a lug on defense. He's so slow. He is so slow on D. But Man, the Celtics, again, same thing. No ball movement. Like, just they got away from everything they did well in the first half. In the first half, they, come a lot more dribble handoffs, a lot more like Jalen starting to move around without the ball, Tice setting screens. And in the second half, I got to give credit to Lonzo and Josh Hart, though. They did a really good job getting over screens and putting pressure. Like, they were actually allowing him to get over screens and hustle over those and make a difference on Tatum and Jalen and Kemba getting over it. They weren't getting the same level of shots. And besides not getting the same level of shots, we saw more switching in the second half from New Orleans. And, that makes it hard. Fun. It wasn't fun to watch. They stopped the game every 5 seconds. The NBA is garbage now. I'm sorry, it is. It's WWE. It's literally WWE. There's no defense allowed. It's terrible. Terrible. But, what are the Celtics going to do here? What are the Celtics going to do here? Are they going to make changes? Are they going to make a trade this week? Because they can't let this continue. Are they going to fire Brad? I don't know if it's time to fire Brad, but they go so stagnant. They completely got away from what they were doing in the first half, and that comes from off the ball movement, screen set off ball. Not every single screen has to be set on ball. So the Celtics have a big problem. Big problem. Ingram started taking over later in the game, but the Celtics lost this game. They lost the game. They were up by 24 points. Oh, and by the way, Kemba Walker, man, love him. He had just came off a great game. Dude's been so inconsistent. Like, he's just not the same since the injury, man. He was so great. He was so great before the glorified Summer League. But ever since then, he just has a game where he goes 8 of 16, and then he has the next game where he goes 2 of 16. And it's just, I don't know, man. Do you make a deal for Kemba? Do you give him till the end of the season? He couldn't hit. And Tatum, he made some clutch shots toward the end of regulation, couldn't hit. Let's read the lines. Kemba Walker, 5 of 21, 1 of 12 from 3, 14 points. Jalen, 25 points, 7 of 23, 3 of 10 from 3. Not good enough. Tatum was the only one I thought that was good enough in terms of that. Tristan Thompson, too. Tice was solid as well, but not too great offensively. Jason Tatum, 32 points, 10 of 24, 3 of 7 from 3, 9 of 13 from the line. Zion, 28 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 11 of 21 from the field. Brandon Ingram, 33 points, 11 of 22 from the field, 5 of 12 from 3, 6 of 6 from the line. But the game was just, it became hard to watch. 34 free throws for Boston, 37 for the Pelicans. The overtime wasn't fun. Both games today were completely ruined by the refs. Trash product for a trash league. Thank God I don't support a trash team right now. Period. That's it for tonight, guys. Absolutely had it. Just remember, James Harden's just a fraud, and the Nets are a joke because, yeah, they're just a joke. The new super team, in 20 years' time, when your kids ask you, how James Harden and Kevin Durant and LeBron James win championships, you're going to say the same thing. Oh, when they built their super team. Yeah, what an honorable way. All right, that's it for me. We're going to go to the live chat with nearly 100 people in the live tonight. Of course, when the Clippers lose, your dicks get hard. So we're going to go to it right now. Good night. Let me know what you think. All right, pussies, what do you have? Paul Harden? Here, I got something for you. Later. No, they should bring back hand checking. They should bring back hand checking. Harden, dude. LeBron James is one of the greatest players in history. He can't, I'm never going to, no, he's on a different level. I'm joking, Michael George. Don't get so serious. The NBA needs to bring back rules that allow the defense to play defense. What's NBA is obviously scripted. Oh, we have one guy here. I think that's yeah. As a Laker fan, I will never have respect for KD or Harden. Yeah, Rohan, I agree. That foul was also soft, but they were giving the Nets the same calls all game. Whenever we put a hand on Harden's midsection or anything, they call everything. KD's not in the MVP combo anymore. Kawhi needs help. Oh my God, look. See, where do these people come from? Kyrie, Harden. Like, where do they come from? Like the Jazz fans. How does YouTube do this? Like the second I talk about your team, you guys I've never been in my videos before, and you all of a sudden come. Where do you come from? How do you do this? No, I don't think super teams should be banned, but like, I mean, just the player is just weak. I don't know if PG was in the game, Clippers win tonight. Clippers didn't deserve to win tonight. We didn't. Yeah, soft. Dime. I've been watching 60s to 2000 games and my quality of life has improved. You should too. Man, really? Dude, I may have to, man. I'm getting too stressed out with this garbage. I feel you on that, Humayun Ijaz, about Kawhi getting to the line, but bro, he can't get by guys, it seems. No, but wait, listen, Free Spirit. Are we a super team, the Clippers? Are we a super team? Tell me that. And plus, Kawhi had the option to go to the Lakers and build the most unstoppable three-player combination maybe history's ever seen. And he chose to go to the worst franchise in NBA history that's never made it out of the second round. So you tell me what's competitive and what's not. I agree that getting Paul George and like the way he did it was whack. Completely agree, but Michael George, yeah. 2 first names. Yeah, the number of streams. NBA will always rig games for big stars. Yeah, I guess. I don't think they rigged it for LeBron in 2016. I just think that the suspension to extend the series was weird. Kawhi snaps his head back every play. You don't watch the Clippers, buddy. He doesn't snap his head back every play. Whenever he gets touched, the same way your boy Harden does, but he doesn't get all the calls that freaking plumber Jim does. Jim literally falls down every time somebody closes out hard on his ass. It's shit not basketball. Kawhi doesn't get the calls. In Game 7, we got no calls. No, I know, Simon. We're not talking to you. Guys, you need to understand that you don't all have the same definition of super team. Some of you think it's one thing, some of you think it's the other. You don't all have the same separation. Good question. Why wasn't Kawhi posting up? I don't know, T-Money. He should. If it's Nets, Lakers, man, I don't know. I'd rather just kill myself. Minutes restrictions, Edwin. No, Nets are beatable, guys. Rohan, don't act like the Nets are unbeatable. They're not unbeatable. Maybe unbeatable in today's NBA because no big man has any skill. Let's see what Joel Embiid needs to punish these boys when they play. I want Glenn Rivers. Actually, that's one series I'll root for the Sixers. I'll root for them to beat these guys because they need a big man to punish them. My MVP ranking, it's Embiid, number 1. No dispute. Nets are the only super team right now. Thanks, Silex. I appreciate you. You're one to talk about getting bailed out by a foul. Kyrie, Harden. Boo, get a life, dude. Yeah, I know. Some players don't want to play with LeBron that actually need the ball to succeed because LeBron holds it too long. If Smith, Detective Trap. Okay, Silex. The Clippers will never win, bro. Yeah, all right. I'll save that comment. Kawhi got carried in those finals. Yeah, just like LeBron got carried in his finals. No, he didn't have 20 texts, Simon. They reclassified the what he did and gave him a flagrant instead. The Lakers are not a super team, no. 2016 Rockets fail because they fired Kevin McHale early in the season and they replaced him with a new coach. And I don't remember the rest, honestly. I think Jason Terry was old. Prigioni left. Howard kept getting worse. Pretty sure Josh Smith went to Detroit. I do blame the NBA, but I blame everyone, Sam, man. I blame everyone. Dude, it's not basketball. It's not competitive. No, Jazz have won 20 of their last 22. Don't forget the L we handed them, Ben Hudson. That was a bad call. Kawhi should have got the N1. Respect, man, for all you do. Thank you, Drew Hall. I appreciate you. Are you subscribed? Subscribe. Super team for me over 2 all-stars. At least 2 superstars and an all-star. Okay, so we're not a super team, Simon. Thank you. Do you think the Nets are the biggest super team ever formed? Nah, that would be the Warriors. Yeah, make it to the finals, Manny Goober. No thoughts on the Nets winning the last 6 games. They won. Let's see what happens. They found some chemistry with their switch everything strategy. And because people don't know how to take advantage of size in this league. Facts, Michael Taw, about defense. Clippers were robbed. Thank you, Matthew Vesio. Jesus. A lot of comments, huh? A lot of comments. I'm just going to answer them quick. Thank you, Free Spirit, about the Kawhi comment. Yeah, Rohan, that's a good point, man. With the way the refs call the game, it's hard to beat freaking Plumber Jim and Kyrie. No, Embiid is not the new Harden, man. At least he's trying to dominate on the inside, Simon. He's trying to dominate on the inside. Harden's at the perimeter just flopping around. All these players flop. It's just a joke. None of these guys could play with hand checking as is. Right now, none of them could because they all flail every time they get hand checked or get stopped. It's actually hilarious. People have the audacity to say Jordan is not, wouldn't destroy these fools. It's really funny to me. Yeah, that putback by DJ was just lucky and nice. I'm going to call it lucky because he never did it for us in however 10 years that he was with us. So Mo Bamba Collins dang? Doubt it. I don't know about that, Team Money. I mean, you set screens you see a shoulder, you set a screen. Clip teen. That's Magic Johnson for you. Hey, but guess what? You want to know something funny about that 1980 finals? That game is probably that and game 3 are the least exciting of the series. Game 2, game 4, 5, and 6 are classics. Watch game 2, man. That's one of the best games I've ever watched. That ass, so good. Man, 76ers are the East Finals winner? I don't know about all that. LeBron, he's a team player, but he's a completely overrated team player. He's all about himself at the end of the day. And if you can't see through it, that's on you. I made videos about it. I like Jeff Green. No, I mean, here's the thing. Harden, he loses every time because of that. So that's all I got to say about that. He's been playing. Guys, I don't have to admit anything. You guys watch my show. I talk about the Nets all the time. How many times have I said Plumber Jim's having a good season? How many times? A lot. You guys know my show. They play the Clippers. They're the enemy. How can the Clippers maximize Ibaka's abilities? We are maximizing it. He needs to be better. Oh my God, King James Harden. Stop bringing up LBJ, obsessed weirdo. Yet he has a nickname, King James Harden, bro. Get a life and get your nuts out of your mouth. 2016, 2013, and 2012, and 2020, Austin. How about that? If Kawhi got carried in 2019, LeBron got carried in every single one of his finals. Oh, yeah, the Ty Lawson thing. That was another thing. Just a distraction to the team. Didn't help at all. I don't hate PG or Kawhi. I just don't necessarily like them that much. Yet. Thanks, Silex. Embiid is my MVP. Easy. I was rooting for LeBron. I was rooting for LeBron in every single one of his finals until last year. Guys, he was my favorite player. I loved him. But then he did, when he tried to get Kawhi, it showed me his true colors about how uncompetitive he was. Yeah, like super uncompetitive. He's literally started the avalanche of uncompetitiveness we have now. So if you don't admit it, you're literally just making excuses. It's the truth. It's literally the truth. Even when I was a LeBron fan, I could never admit he's the most competitive guy in the world. He likes the easiest way out. Harden, LeBron doesn't. Here's the thing. LeBron randomly flops, but usually he still tries and plays basketball. He just complains a lot. Harden flails and bullshits. LeBron, for the most part, still plays. Kawhi didn't. Okay, Andrew M., you're just starting to be ridiculous now. I feel you, real new money. He needs to get the ball maybe in the mid-post instead of up top. I don't like Kawhi at the top. Who's us, King James Harden? I feel you on that, Idlewild South. Stayed in Oklahoma City or go anywhere else. Portland, freaking Salmon. Portland, Washington, anything. Not that. That's facts, to boy. They weren't completely artificially built. Pat Bev plays great. I don't know. You Laker fans actually just don't watch. They just don't understand basketball, and they live in hate. They think Caruso's great, but they don't see what Pat Bev does. I keep it real with both. I think Zubats can punish those mismatches better than Ibaka. I do, Clipton. Embiid, how many times do I have to say it? Okay, Matthew Vesio. That's an if Schmidt statement. If the Nets had Kitty, they would 100% beat the Lakers. How about that? We got a recall? Did you have? Oh, let me guess. It's a Brooklyn Nets fan who I've never heard of, who somehow found a way to get in my live. Somehow. And even though we talk about his team every single game, he comes in and he denies the fact that his team was getting every call in the first half. Stop it. Stop it. And you won the game off of it. Yeah, Harden's garbage. No SW. Dodgers for life. Clippers got every call? Sure. That's a Nets fan, Nets logo in his profile picture saying that. Yeah, and averaged 21. And then he averaged 6 more points after the next year, Salmon. And first of all, who's saying LeBron wouldn't be great? I'm just saying that it would be great to have it. I don't know if the Jazz are comparable to the 2015 Warriors. You don't understand? It's a new league, bro. You have to play how the rest of the league plays. So you flop and don't play basketball anymore? Is that what it is, Austin? Come to our parade? Who was our? You're a loser. Yeah. I don't know, Rohan. I just don't. Embiid, I mean, LeBron's had a lot more bad games than Embiid. No, I don't see. Kind of comparable to the 2015 Hawks, but I don't know. I think the Jazz are more serious. Magic was throwing dimes, huh? Every player. What are you saying? Has some fans sucking them off. That's fact, Simon. Yep. Thank you, Brandon Campbell, about Harden. Zubac should start over Ibaka. I'm with that. I'm totally with that. Lou and Serge picking pops, maybe? No. I feel you about the Celtics. Michael George, what? Zubac's the worst player on the Clippers? Definitely a bad take. Zubac should not be out of the league. Man, that's the thing about you Laker fans and like some of you basketball fans that don't watch other teams are just so casual, man. Like it's actually kind of disgusting. Facts. Harden would win Best Supporting Actor. He can't win Leading Actor because he had to join KD to win a championship because he couldn't do it on his own. Facts, Niona T about the Heat making a team to beat. Trae Young and Harden, same boat. They both are ridiculous. Rohan, stop. Kobe did it because they didn't have Gasol at the time. He had nobody. He was stuck with Kwame Brown, so he needed one co-star. MJ would have loved Hakeem. Get out of here, bro. What are you talking about? Do you see what Jordan says when you ask him, to ask him things like that? That wasn't in the culture, bro. Stop making excuses for LeBron. Get out of here, man. He won the championship with this team. You're telling me that that's not too much? Get out. Hey, Kareem, any of the games from the 1980 playoff run, Sun Series, Sonic Series, you should watch the conference finals, the Sonic Series. He makes Jack Sigma look like freaking, like, he makes him look like Chris Kaman. Like, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if he's in the Hall of Fame. I think he may be in the Hall of Fame, Jack Sigma. But Kareem made him look terrible. LeBron can't win without a super team either, huh? Or a top 5 player, I guess. If KD can't. Kevin Durant, I don't even know if he's less competitive than LeBron. Yeah, I guess he is with that move, but he was competitive until LeBron made that move, and that made it okay for him. He thought, oh, let me just go join some guys that's, know how to play the right way. That's what LeBron did. The only difference was that LeBron's team wasn't an established 70-win team. Yeah, facts, Team Money, about these bandwagon Nets fans. Yeah, no, I guess these guys just don't watch Zubats. No, it wasn't the easy way out. But he knew what he was doing. He knew that the Lakers, Luis Jose, he knew that the Lakers would be able to get him who he wanted. He's not an idiot. But wait, he left Cleveland, though. He went back to Cleveland, then he left to ring chase more. Like, come on, man. How many teams are you going to go to? 4? That's why Shaq's not in the GOAT debate. Bro played for too many teams. For LeBron, I used to say when I was a LeBron fan, I was like, if he goes to more than 2 teams, like, I don't know if I'll be able to consider him, like, up there with those other guys who only did it for a couple of teams. Like, that's just too much. But now everyone's just gotten soft and thinks it's all cool. Thank you, Simon. Agreeing that you guys got calls. Yeah, of course. Yep. Bad takes on Zubats. All-star starters were fine. Kawhi was still consistent in all of those games in the finals, Andrew. He was consistent. He still did the job. He let his teammates eat when he needed to, and he took over games when he needed to. Point blank. I think both Lakers and Clippers will beat the Wizards. I'm mad that the refs interfered with your win. Yeah, let's go to overtime. Let's see what you guys would have done. I don't know if we'll beat the Nets in a 7-game series with our matchup. Because Laker fans, you guys think you know everything. You guys are the worst. Even though no, actually, never mind. You're not the worst. LeBron sexuals are the worst. But you guys are the most toxic fan base of a team in the league. It's not even questionable. For every one good fan, there's 3 toxic fans. J Love, man. If you haven't watched Patrick Beverley's impact this season with the Clippers, I don't need to explain. I go alive every game. Maybe like a 2015 Curry, Donovan Mitchell, Salmon, but Steph was in his 6th season? Donovan's in his 4th. I am Batman. Yes, Stern was better. Who are you, J4KT? Like, who are you? Where did you come from? How did you find me? Yeah, no. ESPN's ruined basketball fans. They're all clueless. They don't know the game. They actually don't know the game at all. Jackie, you tell me, because people do it for put LeBron in there. It's because it's easy for the media to do that. Guys, you don't understand. It was predetermined they were going to put LeBron in the GOAT debate before he stepped on the court. He was called the chosen one. The Sports Illustrated cover, everything. Come on, they promoted him from the start. It was inevitable. But he did exceed expectations. I will give it to that. He did his end of the bargain. But they promoted him from the beginning. They were doing it in the beginning. It's not the same thing, Austin House. So double standard. This guy thinks he's making good points. All right, here we go. I'm done with this guy. I'm done. All right. It doesn't matter. What do you mean there's a Warriors fan as a mod? I choose the fans that I trust to be my mods. Do I think the Jordan Bulls would have stopped the Hakeem's Rockets from winning? Maybe. That's always a great discussion, a big what if. I got to watch their matchups together, and maybe I'll get a better opinion of it. Is that a superstar definition, Andrew M? 2 stars in a stacked team is different. Sure. He was also playing with Mo Williams. He's also playing with shooters. That is LeBron loves playing with. Big Z. Not like he was playing with trash. I agree with you, though. He wasn't. By the way, Russell Westbrook was not a top 5 player, in my opinion, in 2016. Top 10, maybe, but not top 5. But I agree. That's what makes it different, too. He had a real star with him, a superstar. A star. Zubats averages 2 points a game. That's it. Are you serious? Okay, if you're a Nets fan, since you had Stephon Marbury, chill the fuck out. Come at me with respect, and then maybe you'll actually get listened to. Because that means you've been watching basketball for longer than these idiots. So relax, okay? I talk about your team all the time objectively. You played my team tonight. I can say whatever the fuck I want. You played my team. So I can say whatever I want. I don't need to be real. I don't need to look at it object. I can say what the fuck I want. Facts, Mr. Zeke. Mr. Zeke is one of the best, has some of the best takes in here. All right, Michael Todd. The Slim Reaper earned those finals MVPs. Sure. I think if Braun went to Chicago in 2010, it would have changed the league for the better. It would have been, I think it would have been great, personally. I just think that maybe he didn't want to go to the Jordan franchise. That would have been kind of a whack. Everyone needs to work on his post-game, Edgaro. I don't know who we're playing next. Fake Granny. Who's this J4K2 guy? Like, where'd you come from? Like, why are you talking shit like that? You have 0 rings too, buddy. Relax. Oh, Kobe's. If you don't understand how competitive Kobe is, then you just didn't watch him play. No. You say it like he was gonna lose. He was gonna go to the Pistons after losing to them in 04. In 07, because the Lakers had 3 years to give him what he could retool the team around him, and they did a poor job of it. You know what I'm saying? In LeBron's prime, one bad year, and he either pressures you to make a move or he leaves. It's as simple as that. Don't get shit talk my boy Bean like that. If you can't see how competitive Kobe was compared to these modern players, you didn't watch him play. It's simple as that. Totally simple as that. New comfort levels, sure. I don't know about all that. It's not hard when you get a whole roster that you want with stars that you chose. That's not like, he didn't hurt Jeff Green on purpose. Look at you motherfucking softies, bro. Get out of here. Gotta end this live, bro. This is getting ridiculous. Yep, thank you, T-Money. No, I would never root for LeBron to win another championship or the Lakers to win another championship with him. You're the fans are too annoying. I'd rather have the Nets fans win because they're thousands of miles away from me and I don't know them. I would much rather have them win. As much as I hate them both. You know what's funny is I actually liked the Nets before they got Harden. Like I was kind of messing with KD and Kyrie. Like I was kind of messing with that team. But gotta ruin it. The all-star starters, they were good. Oh my God, Team Money. If Kawhi wins a ring with if he makes it out of the second round, he'll be my favorite player. That's it. That's all he needs to do. No, most Clipper fans are not LeBron haters. There's not one Clippers fan I've ever met that's a LeBron hater. Like, that's why they're a Clippers fan. You guys are weird. You guys don't know anything. Nobody cares. Contrary to what you guys think, not many people care about LeBron as much as you think. We support the Clippers because we like the Clippers. LeBron James was no. You guys are such reaches. Some fans are so bad for the game, man. Some fans are some of the reasons. Some of you guys are the reasons why players are so soft and terrible because you type of fans. I don't understand how people find the live. Like Nets fans will find the live when we play them, and then out of nowhere the Jazz fans will find me. How does that even work? What was my reaction to the Donald Sterling ban? I was so happy because I knew that was the moment the Clippers were going to change forever and my team would be a legitimate franchise. Yes, Stern was great. Pop or Phil Jackson? Great debate. You can go either way. Oh my, the fact that people are trying to act like Kawhi intentionally injured somebody is so funny. They always try that with Pat. They always try that. Pat Bev commits a hard foul and he did 9/11 now. That's what you be acting like. Yeah, Salmon, I know about Hakeem and all that, the threes, and they beat him in the regular season. Red Auerbach's in that discussion too, though. You can't leave him out. He's in charge of the greatest dynasty in history. And like revolutionized the fast break as like a real strategy. Show the way that they play defense. Pop is top 3 all time. Oh my God. All right, let me get these out quick. Hold on. Like up the stream, by the way, guys. Like that shit up right now. Quick. Harden James, like where'd you come from? Bruh. Okay, Johnny, you're just a hater. It's not true. That's not true. Just because he didn't get along with Shaq doesn't mean he couldn't along with you saw how quickly it was able to mesh with Gasol. Anytime Kobe's had like a star on his team, he won. He won. Like that's the indisputable fact right there. He won. Johnny, you were 2 years old. Don't talk to me about the 2006 playoffs. Don't talk to me about 2007. You were 2 years old. Don't talk to me. Period. Luis Jose, yes. And it's the job of star players to show some pride and not want the easy way out with every star coming your way. Right? Facts about Damian Lillard, Jared Mercado. We need to show him more respect. I never said Kobe was the GOAT. All right, let's. No. Is Jordan outside?
Oh, somebody was outside.
Get him in there.
Is it Jordan?
Yeah.
I saw somebody outside. That's why it came in.
Okay. I feel you, Jared Hilton. Michael Taw, I don't answer those questions. Yeah, them salty Nets fans, huh? Ken Norman days? Okay, Edgar, I see you. Roberto Espino, look at you. You've been going in hiding since your boy has been playing like trash, huh? What did you say? I still think what they did to Sterling was lame. That's it for the night, guys. I'm done. Peace.